Yeah, thanks. And as I was thinking about this, I was thinking of a time we're going to journey back. I'm going to tell a little story. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Since there were many hands that were raised at the comment of overhead projectors, we're going to go back into that era. And I will apologize, too, that for 20 minutes you have to listen to this American accent. I'm looking down at Stefan here and thinking, maybe we need to pull up this French person again with this beautiful accent, or
Sorry, can I just interrupt? Don't encourage them.
or my London friends as well, right? Those are, again, apologies. Hopefully, because we all speak procurement, that my accent will dissolve away and we'll just focus on the procurement language. Okay, back in the 1980s, and I know you're thinking, he is not that, he couldn't be that old. I didn't say when in the 80s, and the fact that I actually lived in the 70s as well. But my brother and I, one year we received BMX Mongoose bikes. Does that resonate with anyone else? Okay, all right.
There we go.
There's my tribe right there. But in these were cool because they didn't have the wire spokes. It was these mag aluminum webbed intricacy that existed on the tire. And I had the coolest mongoose sticker right at the goose neck of the bike. And it shined and sparkled. So when the sun hit it, it was like reflective. Now, I know he's like, what are you talking about, Travis?
I'm just checking the structure.
There's a point to how this relates to category management at Walmart. About a half a mile away, there was a field that my brother and I would ride our bikes around. He's 2 years older. I'm around 9 years old at this time. Yeah, don't try and do the math. And so we're off in this field, and there were multiple trails and dirt roads and several jumps, and not jumps like you would have today where it's man-made and constructed, but just normal dirt. And there was one jump that was the big one. And this one, it was cool because it was 3 times bigger than all the rest, but then it was at the base of a hill. So the great thing was you got speed, but the bad thing was you got speed. Now, you also would cross a stream. If you jumped right and well, you would miss the stream. But the bad thing is that after about 10 feet of this small dirt path was a dirt road that was a T section into it. So speed, gravity, air, land, brake. Now, the brakes at this time, right, these are not hand brakes. This is you push on the back, because it didn't go backwards like that. I know that's a novel thing. And you had to skid and turn sideways so that you didn't run into this bank of additional dirt. So I went first. Of course, it was a perfect landing. Everything went well. It did. Okay, maybe it wasn't perfect, but it was exhilarating. Well, then my brother goes, and he's coming down, and as soon as he pulls up on the jump, his handlebars separate from the bike. And at that moment, my life went into slow motion for him, because I thought, what is going to happen? How are you going to even control? And it was a disaster. He landed and just went straight for the bank and just teed right into it, and of course scraped up, and luckily didn't break any bones, but it was a nice walk back. So what is category management and the expectations? Truthfully, I think help us avoid the little things so that we don't crash. All my brother needed to do was check his gooseneck. It wasn't tight. But as a kid, we just want to get on the bike and ride and go jump. But there's a lot of little things, and now sometimes bigger things that exist within all of the vectors that are hitting us with data and risks, that if we have a methodology and a tool to guide us and check the gooseneck, then our chances of crashing are much smaller.
Okay. You now challenge me to the best ever segue I can come up with. I'm going to go for it. Right. Now, you do digitization. Now, I would argue that if you took a BMX bike from the 80s, there wasn't a lot of complexity there, right? There wasn't a lot to check, and we didn't manage that. So if you now roll forward to the digitization you're doing, how do you check that all the complexity we're now bringing into procurement, that you and your team can keep up with all of that?
That was great.
Did you like that?
I did.
I had to work hard.
We didn't even stage this either. So what would I do? Because I could do the simple things at the BMX bike level, but I would outsource it. Meaning,
Right.
I take it to a bike shop and have them make sure it's, of course there's little things, but then there are experts that can do it. And I think that's a great analogy too. So as we look at what we've done within category strategy and category management, of course we have a methodology that teaches the why and the how and the what, but that still leaves room for governance to be not performed well. And so digitization has played a key role for us in that, because it provides the structure, it provides insights around, do we need to check that gooseneck, and how do we do other maintenance in more a complex environment?
Got it. Now look, you've taken on board Sergio. It's